So today we're gonna talk about expressing opinions. I know you sent me your homework and I took a look this morning and I also emailed you guys back. So I think after the class or this week, if you guys have time, you guys can take a look. I put the correction in bracket. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. And you can look at each other's homework as well, because it's all in the email. Okay, so Eva, can you read, let's see, read up till here. And then Steffi can read the rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Voicing your opinion at work is sometimes a delicate walk on a tightrope. Going against the majority can leave you an outsider. Taking on your boss may leave you at a risk of getting into their bad books, and speaking out at the wrong time may leave you looking silly among your peers.
However, if you feel strongly about a topic, you should speak up, but in a way that still lets you keep your job and your friends at work. Here are some tips on how to share your opinion.
Okay, so majority here, this word, majority.
Okay.
So majority, we have major and minor. And sometimes you will hear the word minority. Do you know what that means?
The
First important.
Little bit like that. So major is like when you're talking about majority, it's like most of the people. So if there's 10 people in the room, maybe 9 people says yes, and 1 person, maybe you will say no, right? So you are the minority, less. So in Taiwan, we would say the minority are like the Aboriginal or the Indonesians, right? And also, I guess you can say Hakka. When you say, do you know what's Hakka? It's like there's different races, right?
Living in Miaoli.
Right. Okay, right. Even though, great, Stephanie got it. Right. So that's the minority. So a small group of people. Okay. So like if we went to America, maybe Asians would be not really the minority. There's a lot of Asians, but if there were a small group, maybe say in the city, right? Only you're the only Asian, then you're the minority in the city.
Okay.
Okay. So we have majority and minority. Okay. And they will say, leave you an outsider. What does outsider mean? So imagine there's a house, right? People are inside and you're the outsider, kind of like they don't want you inside because maybe you have a different opinion. Maybe the things, your thoughts are different than people, but it's okay, right? It's okay to observe all of the different type of thoughts and ideas from different people. It's open, we call it to be open-minded. Okay. So even like if you're at an interview, right? People are like, oh, you can introduce yourself as, oh, I'm someone who's very open-minded. It means that you're very open to different opinion and ideas. Okay, great. So then here, we're trying to express our opinion, but at the same time, how can we do it in a nice way? How can we do it so that other people are not like, Eva, right? Like, it was so rude, not nice, right? I don't want to be your friend, right? How can you say it nicely so that either your boss or your colleagues will not feel offended or feel that you are very rude? Okay, so do you voice your opinions at work? And do you feel comfortable when you do? So some people are like, oh, I don't want to, like, I think a lot of Taiwanese people are like, oh, I'm afraid to tell people my opinion. but maybe you have a different opinion and it's really good, right? Especially when we're doing marketing. I think it's really important that everyone puts out their ideas. It could be something really crazy, but it could be something that can be very interesting and very fun, right? So it's okay to voice your opinions. So I want to ask Eva first about, do you voice your opinions at work? Yes or no, right? And then tell me, do you feel comfortable? Like, is it okay that you do? Yes or no? And why or why not?
I really feel uncomfortable when I voice my opinions because I don't know what other people thinks about it. Maybe my opinion is not right, or something can address.
Okay, so you feel uncomfortable. Do you think it's because you're not very confident? Because a lot of the times maybe you have good ideas, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. So this is something that we can work on in the class. Great. Steffi, what about you? I think you're a little bit different.
If I'm at work, I think everyone can have their opinion. So I think everyone talk about their opinion, I will respect. So I don't afraid or confident if I'm talking about my opinion. I think it will works me. It will makes me know. I don't think. I think so. I think less or not think so clearly. Clearly.
Good. Okay, great. So Steffi, please give Eva some tips on how she can feel more comfortable. What do you think? Because I think you're a very nice work environment, right? There's not too much judgment. What is judgment? Say like, oh, you're wrong, right? Oh, you're bad. If there's not too much judgment, then it's okay, right? It's okay to voice your opinion. So Steffi, can you give Eva a tip on what she can do to, or practice? What do you think?
Just think you are right.
Good. Okay. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. What does that mean? It's what you think, right? It doesn't really matter if it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake or not. Same thing in class, right? It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, I'll think it's great because you're trying, right? And I'm here to help you to make it even better, right? So you will be improving. So same thing at work, right? If you have a lot of ideas, give ideas, because your idea is something very special. Even if someone says, hey, you're wrong, you'll be like, hey, I'm not wrong. You're wrong for saying I'm wrong, right? So it's just something that is an attitude, right? About what you think about what you're going to say. Who cares what other people say? But maybe you care a lot about what other people say. But it's okay because you're still very young. You're going to grow, right? But here you're in a very nice working environment. So you should try to express your opinion. Okay. Great. So let's continue here. So we have some different phrases that we use in different situations during business meetings. Okay. So what's the first one, Eva?
First one is giving opinions.
Okay. Can you give me an example? What does it mean to give an opinion?
When we talk about something and everyone can express their opinions for each other.
Good. Okay. So try to use different words, right? You said to give opinions, but I'm asking what is to give opinions? So maybe to have your own ideas or what you're thinking. Okay. Some different words. Great. Okay. Steffi, what about number 2?
Asking for opinions.
Okay. What does that mean? What's the difference between that and giving opinions?
ask someone have give me some idea.
Okay, so if you ask someone, okay, so if you ask someone, that's a key, ask, right? So it's like, hey, Eva, what do you think about this? And it's not just Eva saying, hey, this is my idea. Okay, that's the difference. The difference is I'm just going to tell you my idea versus I'm asking, hey, Steffi, what do you think about this? Okay, great. Number 3, Eva.
Commenting on opinions.
Right, commenting. Not
Comment.
right, commenting. Okay, commenting on opinions. So what does it mean to comment on something? When you comment on Instagram, what does that mean?
Write a caption under the post.
Right. So first you see someone's post and you say, I like this, or I don't like this, or something, right? So you have an opinion. And so Steffi maybe says, I have this idea, right? And you're like, hey, that's a great idea. So that's your comment, okay? That's you expressing your idea to her about her idea. Okay, great. So number 4, Steffi?
Agreeing with other opinions.
Okay, what does it mean to agree with other opinions?
Your idea is so great.
Great. Okay, that's a good example. Awesome. Eva, what about number 5?
Disagreeing with other opinions.
Okay, what can you say to Steffi here?
We can talk about it.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one, right? So sometimes we don't really want to be very straightforward, right? So sometimes we need to see or observe what or where the person is from, right? If you're saying this to an American and you're like, maybe next time, but there's not going to be a maybe next time, right? You just don't want to go to their house, right? Maybe they would rather you say, hey, no, I don't feel comfortable going, or just no, I don't really want to go, or give your reason of why you don't want to go, right? Rather than Taiwan, we just kind of like run around, right? Just not saying no, right? Okay, great. Number 6, what's number 6, Eva? Oh, Steffi?
Advising and suggesting.
So it's suggest and then ting.
Suggesting.
Good. Okay. So what does it mean to advise and to suggest?
Give someone some give someone what I think.
Okay, so it's kind of like when I say something like, let's have pasta for lunch. And then you're like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I'm on a diet, right? Let's have some, I don't know, salad or something, right? So it's like you're suggesting something else. Okay, so these are all different situations that we might face in a business meeting. Really good. So let's start with the first one, to giving opinions. Okay. So Eva, can you tell me about what are some of the phrases that you can use?
In my opinion,
okay. The second one?
Okay. I really feel that, and the way I see it.
Okay, so it's like, in my opinion, okay, I really feel that the way I see it. Okay, so in my opinion, can you make a sentence here with, in my opinion, what do you want to say?
In my opinion, I think today will rain.
Okay, right. So remember, it's in my opinion, not opinions, right? So there's no, in my opinion, okay, it might rain today. Okay, maybe. So Steffi, what about the second one? What can you say?
I really feel that today is so hot.
Today is so hot. Okay. So what would you say? Like, let's say that you're in a business meeting. Okay. So is there something that you can think about? Maybe a project that you're doing, or maybe a meeting that you guys had that you want to say something about your opinion, and this is something that you can use.
Cindy, may I ask, why is I really feel that, not I really feel like?
That it's kind of like in Chinese, it's like I really feel kind of like,哦，我真的觉得很像什么什么什么什么什么。It's not really like, like is like 像是吗? Kind of like we wouldn't really say like.
Okay.
Yeah, I really feel like, I guess like is more informal. Informal as in like we don't use that in a business setting. Right?
Okay.
So it's like different ways that you say. You can say like, oh, I really feel like taking a nap. I really feel like having pizza, right? So that's still correct.
Something.
Right. If you want to do something, you can say that.
Okay.
But here you're giving an opinion, right? It's kind of like you want to feel more empowered. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I really feel that. Is there anything you can think of that you can use?
I really feel that you need to give more material for us to, because some clients didn't give us material, and they always say it is not really good in our
Good, very good, very good. I think it's a very good example, right? So you're talking about some clients, they don't really give us a lot of materials to put on as ads, right? For our ads, right? So it's like, it all looks the same. We're like, hello, well, give me different ones, right?
Yes.
Right, so then you can say that, I really feel that you don't provide us, you can say provide, right? So give us is more informal, right? So you can provide us with more materials, right? Yeah, so you can say that. Okay. You should, yeah. Okay, so in my opinion, okay. So these three are very basic ways of saying how to give your opinion. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Asking for opinions. Okay, so Steffi, can you tell us about this?
This question will help you ask for feedback and opinions during a conversation. Do you really think that? Name of participant, can we get your input? How do you feel about?
Okay, so it's like, maybe it's like you're having a meeting with a client, right? So it can be like, say, her name is Ember. Ember, can we get your input? Right? Input as in you want their ideas or their thoughts about something you just talked about. Okay, it could be talking about a marketing campaign. You're saying, oh, Valentine's campaign, we want to do this, right? So this is your opinion, and you're like, can we get your input on this? Right? So you can talk about or ask about someone. Or even like if you guys are in a meeting, right? You would like Eva, because maybe Eva has a good idea, but she's like thinking about how to say this, right? You just ask her, right? If you ask her, or ask everyone to say something, right? To have an input, then they will have to say something. Right? So sometimes I think it's a nice way to work if you're talking to like with new colleagues, right? Like you guys have Tinder and all those people, maybe they're a bit shy, right? But you guys are like the senior of the company, right? You guys been here for a long time. So you guys should be like, oh, Tinder, what do you think about this, right? Or like you want their ideas because they're fresh minds, they're new to the company, so they're gonna have a lot of new things, maybe something different from yours, and maybe it's like 10 times if there's one good idea, right? And that's still very good input. So here are some of the ways, right? And then here, when you say, do you really think that, is like you're kind of making sure about their idea, right? Do you really think that this idea, us trying to sell underwear during Valentine's Day to the boyfriends is really a good idea, right? Like something like that, right? Or just very neutral. How do you feel about this? They could feel good or they could feel bad, but they can tell you their reasonings. Okay, so let's do a little practice here. Eva, let's say that, okay, what is the marketing campaign you just worked on that's like really big, or one you really liked?
No, what? Sorry, one more time.
Okay, so what do you have a marketing campaign that you have worked on recently that you think that you really like, or you spend a lot of time on, that you want to use this as an example? So you can say, tell us about, is it about like, it could be about Father's Day, it could be about Valentine's Day, something about that, and then we can ask questions.
Oh, okay. I have a client is sells the accessories.
Okay,
And,
accessories.
okay, accessories.
Accessory, not sen. There's no n. There's no n. So excess.
Oh, sense.
S.
Sense. Ah, no.
No n. Think of it as like
Sense.
excess.
S. Says. Oh, says.
Yes.
Access.
Accessory.
I can accessory.
Yeah. Right. So there's no n, there's no n, there's s. Accessories.
Accessory.
Yes, not to accesses. That's like Japanese. So you can say excess. So C is k, right? Excess. Accessories. Accessories.
Accessory.
Okay, you practice and then remember to record it for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will try it later.
Okay, so they this company, they sell accessories. Is it like bucha?
Oh, yes.
Right, cool. They have good stuff. Okay, and what do they want to do?
They were going on a campaign for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And
Valentine's Day.
Valentine. Okay. Valentine's Day. Okay. And they're it's really good in this campaign. The how to say score or the
Or do you mean the outcome of the campaign?
Yes, I don't know how to say.
Okay, or you can say the results, right? The results. So it's like what you did. So even like a game, right? If they won, like, oh, what are the results? right? If you
Okay.
attend a competition, you win or you lose, or you're number 3, right? Okay, so you can say that, or results as in if you're doing like a campaign or a project or even a presentation, maybe you do have a competition.
Okay.
The results. So the results are really good. Okay, so
Yeah.
what is this campaign about? Is it like you buy, is there a discount, or is it they give out something, or what do they do?
There are 3 combines of the discount. The first one is you buy one and you can $50 for free. No, you
Discount?
can.
$50 discount, so then they can just deduct 50 like that.
Oh yeah, yes. If you
Okay,
buy 3 stuff, you can get 50 discount.
right. 3 items.
3 items, okay. And the second one is you when 5 you have you don't need to pay the delivery fee for when you buy up to $599 dollars.
Okay, $599. That's a pretty good deal. Okay, so no delivery fee. Okay.
And last one is if you buy the I don't know how to say it because it's a kind of material.
Okay, so if you buy a certain material, what is the deal?
You will get a ring for free.
Oh, okay. So it's like, is there like there's silver? I know there's rose.
Yes, silver.
Silver. Okay. So if you buy the silver items, right?
Okay.
So it's like maybe it's like made in silver, right?
Okay.
Made in something something. Okay, great. So when they present this to you, right? Maybe they're asking for your opinions and they can say, oh, Eva, do you really think that this is a good campaign? Right? Do you really
Yes.
think that this is a good campaign? And if you can say yes, and then why would you say yes? Like yes, and what would you say?
Yes, because the results of the campaign is very good.
Okay, but that is after. What about before? If they say, oh, I'm gonna do this, what are you gonna say?
Before, we usually said we cannot we can't tell, but we can try it because we are
Because why?
because we cannot promise, and
Right.
maybe we
So
and this campaign is also more attractive than the other campaign before.
okay, great. So you can say like, oh, we cannot promise the results, right? Because usually marketing is hard to predict anything, right?
Yes.
Right. So it's like we cannot predict the results either. Predict means that like we cannot see if it's going to be good or not, right? But we can try it. Okay, that's good. Or maybe even it's like, oh, some other client has done something similar and it worked well. Maybe this will work too. Something like that you can provide. Yeah, usually it's if you have some experience from other companies, that would also help. Great. Okay, Steffi, let's talk about commenting on opinions.
Use these phrases to show that you are carefully listening. I've never thought about it that way before. Good point. And I get your point. I see what you mean.
Okay, so it's actually 4 sentences. So this one is a new one. So this one is also one. I get your point. Okay, so here, what does it mean by, I've never thought about it that way before. What do you think? Is that an old idea, a good idea, a bad idea? What type of idea would you say this?
A good new idea.
Very good. Okay, it could be like a fresh idea from something, right? Like, oh, that's such a good idea. I never thought about it like that before. Okay, great. So that's a new good idea. Okay, good point. What about good point? Is that positive or negative?
Positive.
Good, it'd be a positive one. Okay, what about I get your point?
I know what you're thinking about.
Good. Okay, so this one is a little bit tricky. Okay, it could be good and it could be bad. So you can hear the difference is I get your point, but it's like I hear what you say, but I don't agree with you. Okay, so a lot of the times you can say this, especially to Americans or Europeans or other Western culture. It's good to have something good and then say the bad. Okay, they still want you to say what is bad or what you don't like, but first you can give them a praise or give them some encouragement and say, oh, that's an interesting idea, but I don't think it will work. And why? Because a client has tried this before and the results weren't really good, right? Okay, so this would be very logical. So first you say something good, and then you say the but, and then you say why it's not good and your reasoning. That's the logic. So I get your point is, or you can even be like, I get your point. Like, Eva, I get your point. I get it. It's good. Great. Okay, so it could be good too, right? So it could be good or bad depending on how you say it. So how you say it is very important. Okay. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. What about this one? What do you guys think?
I understand you.
It's also I understand you, right? I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. I can also say but okay.
Yes.
Or you can just be like, I see what you mean. So it's like, I understand your idea. I get what you're saying. And okay, cool, right? Then you don't have too much of an opinion. It's just kind of like, great, good, cool. Okay. Okay, great job. So let's talk about agreeing with other opinions. Eva. Actually, I think Eva is better with disagreeing. I'm going to leave that one for Eva. So Steffi, let's talk about agreeing with other opinions.
If you agree with what has been said, use this phrase to add your voice in agreement. Exactly. That's exactly the way I feel. I have to agree with name of participant.
Okay, name of participant could be Eva, right? I agree with Eva. I have to agree with Eva. Okay, exactly.
Exactly.
Right. So then sometimes you say faster, it's like exactly. So sometimes we don't even have the T in there because we just skip it and say exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Because it's like exactly. It's like, very like your tongue is like, ugh. So sometimes like, exactly. That's exactly what the way I feel. Okay. So you need to also remember that sometimes when you say things, right, if there's like an apostrophe here, exactly, right, you want to say it like there's an apostrophe there. So exactly, that's exactly the way I feel. Okay, so you got to have like this tone in there that, especially like when you're in a business meeting, right, you want people to feel that you're there and your voice matters, right? So Eva, even when you're talking, so nice and soft, that's really nice. But sometimes in business meetings, especially with clients, you want to show them that, hey, we're talking about business, we're on the same level. Okay, don't be like, I'm like an intern. No, you're not an intern, right? Everyone's on the same table. It's just like, yes, I represent my company, you represent your company. Even though you're paying me money, you're paying me for my knowledge. I'm helping you earn money. So you should respect me. It's not like, they give me money, so I have to listen to them. No, it doesn't work that way. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so especially in a work environment, you need to like, if you don't feel confident, you have to fake it, right? There's a saying that you say, fake it until you make it. So it's like, look in the mirror and be like, I'm very confident, very confident, very confident, but inside maybe you're very scared, right? But today you go to the meeting and you present yourself as someone who is very confident, then you will feel more confident when you have more practice.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the times I used to hate public speaking. Terrible experience with public speaking. Like seriously, I hated it. Like I remember there's this one time in college, like 100 people in the room, and then the professor was like, oh, someone just go up on stage and they just choose a topic, right? And then just right there, you just say something about it. And I remember like I went on stage and I didn't know what to say. Like my mind was blank and I just felt so embarrassed for like 3 minutes. And the professor's like, okay, you can leave. And I just felt like so embarrassed. It was like terrible. And then I hated it after. But then it's like a little bit of practice, and then more like doing it like how you were doing it at work when you're trying to present with the English presentation, which was really good, right? So it's like more opportunities. You should seize these opportunities as practice. So to practice more and more and more. And they would just be like, oh, I did it 10 times, 20 times. It's okay. Not very scary. Like the first time is very scary. And then the second time, third time, it's going to be like, and it starts to get boring, right? If it starts to get boring, then you start to like, okay, add your own things, right? Try to make some joke, try to connect with the client, make them laugh, right? Or more natural, okay? Okay, so that's exactly the way I feel. And I have to agree with so-and-so. Okay, I think we can take a 1-minute break and then come back and then finish the lesson. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.